ensure that delays and disrespect of individual citizens by government officers can stop. This has got a very huge name, Government Servants Regulation of Transfers and Prevention of Delay in Discharge of Official Duties. It's a 14-word name. In short, you can call it Act 21 of 2006, also known as Transfers, Charters and Delays Act, or Daftari Dirangai in Marathi. Section 10, this is the crucial one. We are trying to have a movement going to get this implemented. Today, citizens don't know about it and government officers are not willing to implement this. It applies to Maharashtra Government, but just see the provisions. Section 10 says, disciplinary action. Every government servant shall be bound to discharge his official duties and the official work assigned or pertaining to him most diligently and as expeditiously as possible. This is the important part. Provided that normally no file shall remain pending with any government servant in the department or office for more than 7 working days, which is about 10 calendar days. Provided also that in respect of the files not required to be referred to any other department, the concerned department shall take the decision and necessary action. Remember, decision and necessary action in the matter within 45 days, and in respect of files required to be referred to any other department, decision and necessary action shall be taken within 3 months. Therefore, for any, what's a file? Any application, complaint or representation that you make to Maharashtra Government Authority is a file. Therefore, no file can remain pending for more than 45 days if no other department has to be considered, and 90 days if some other department has to be consulted. So 90 days is the outer limit. Section 10, I repeat, the concerned competent authority on noticing or being brought to its notice any such dereliction of duties on the part of any government servant, after satisfying itself about such dereliction on the part of such government servant, shall take appropriate disciplinary action against the defaulting government servant. RTI works because it has a threat of a penalty. Actually, most government servants are more worried about a disciplinary action than penalty. So we have a very powerful tool which empowers citizens, which we don't know about, and government is not willing to implement this. All applications, complaints, representations are files. No file should remain with any officer for more than 7 working days, about 10 calendar days. For all files which do not require reference to any other department, decision and necessary action should be taken within 45 days. If files have to be referred to another department, decision and necessary action to be taken within 3 months. If there is a delay and it is brought to the attention of the head of department, he must initiate a preliminary inquiry and order disciplinary action if required. Law is what is written. This is a statute. Everybody has to go by the law. Whether it's the President of India, Prime Minister, Chief Minister or any ordinary citizen, we are all bound by a contract which says we must follow the law. In this case, the government is not following this law, and this is where we must try and get it implemented. Action for citizens for state government departments. If a complaint, representation or application has not been responded for 90 days, send a letter to the secretary of the department along the following lines. I have given my application for so and so purpose on so and so date, copy and close. Since then I have received no communication. I would like to draw your attention to section 10 of the Transfers, Charters and Delays Act 21 of 2006, which mandates that no decision can be kept pending for over 90 days. In the instant case, no decision has been communicated to me despite the lapse of so many days. I request you to conduct a preliminary inquiry within 15 days to fix responsibility on the officers responsible for this delay and take appropriate disciplinary action against them. I request that the report of the inquiry may please be sent to me. I will refer to your early action in the above matter. We are calling it for our campaign complaint under section 10 of Act 21 of 2006. For BMC, the same format is there. Only thing is, instead of section 10, you will refer to section 64C of the Mumbai Municipal Corporation Act. Identical provision is there for Mumbai Municipal Corporation also. We will call it complaint under section 64C of the Mumbai Municipal Corporation Act. For non-implementation of any statutory order, for example of Information Commission saying give information, municipal officer saying demolish this, any statutory order at all of any kind that you think, these are files. If they have not been implemented within 90 days, you can again use the same thing. If any, by order number so and so, copy enclosed, so and so authority had ordered on so and so to take so and so action. Since then the order has not been complied with, I would like to draw your attention to section 10 of the Transfers Act, which mandates that no decision can be kept pending for over 90 days. In the instant case, no decision will communicated to me decide the lapse of so many months, I request you to conduct a preliminary inquiry. Again, the same story we can use. Most bribes are done by not responding at all. When you have a legitimate application or complaint, the people just don't respond to it. Therefore, we believe this can be a very powerful tool for getting empowerment, for getting respect for citizens, for getting redressal of complaints, and also your applications. Now, here we have, please write down the link of the Moneylife thing where we are collating all this information. If you go there, after filing complaint under section 21, go to this web link and then you will see the formats given in the front. The same formats that I talked about will be given here. We call it a Goose Ko Goosa campaign. Punch the bribes. And you can do it, all of us actually can. Down there you will see a format which asks for your name, your email ID, your contact number, which department you have filed the complaint with, date of filing complaint, put down the date, response received after 60 days. Copy paste your complaint under Act on this space. This is a small arithmetic problem that is given just to see. Type submit. On the right hand side at the top, there is Act 21 of 2006, citizen responses. As soon as you have filled in there and submitted, you will see it getting added here. We need to get a few thousand of these. If we get a few thousand of these, we can influence the government and make this work. How we can persuade Maharashtra government? Today the government is acting very rarely when we file a complaint like this. There are a few cases, but these are exceptions. In most cases, government is not following the law. And I repeat, law is what is written. No government has legitimacy if it does not follow the law. It is our job to make the government follow the law. Make the government work for you. Use Act 21 of 2006. If application, complaint, representation has been given and no response has been given, file a complaint under one of these to the Secretary, Commission or Municipal Commissioner. Please go to this web link and fill up the form. If you get or do not get a response within 60 days, please inform us by email at foundation@moneylife.in. Even if you don't, we'll then reach out to you, but preferably if you let us know. What is we expect? We expect most complaints not to be responded to. Then you will say, Mr. Gandhi, why are you asking us to do that? That itself is evidence that we need to collect. Today, if you go with 10 complaints or 5 complaints or 50 complaints, nobody will listen to us. But if we can collect a few thousands of these, think about it yourself. If you have such a case, if you don't have, talk to friends. Lots of people have such issues where no response is given. I repeat, response is respect for the individual sovereign citizen of India. That is our right and we must get it. If we do this, I believe after 6-8 months we will confront the government. First possibility, the government decides to implement it itself and starts responding. If it doesn't, we will confront the Chief Minister and the Municipal Commissioner. And if they don't listen, I am hopeful they will listen. I am quite sure they will listen. But if they don't listen, we will go to court. We can implement this. Democracy is ours. And my recommendation to all of you is, my friends, patriotism has to be something deeper than merely standing up when the national anthem is being played or the national flag is unfurled. Those are necessary symbols. But there has to be something deeper which says, I will change my government. It's a democracy. My government is for me to change. I will use this law and get it implemented. Thank you very much. Thank you.